Diamonds are forever. They won't leave in the night. I've no fear that they might desert me. Diamonds are forever.
Throw your diamonds in the sky if you feel the vibe.
Diamonds are forever.
The rock is still alive every time I rhyme. Forever, ever, forever, ever, 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 ever. Good morning, this ain't Vietnam still. People lose hands, legs, arms for real. Little was known of Sierra Leone.
In the 2000s, the MTA went through a transitional period where they started to change into how they are in the present day. What really marked the change was the introduction of the new technology trains, starting with the R142 and R142A. They were the first mass-produced model class of the new tech train. While feeling new, most of these cars are in their 20s. So with that being said, let's dive into the history of the R142 and R142A. If we want to see where the R142 come from, we must go back in time and look at the R110A. In the early 90s, the MTA built the R110A as a prototype train to test several features that would later become standards of new technology trains, including the R142. 10 cars were produced, numbered 8001 through 8010, and entered service on the 2 line. Notable additions to the R110A were wider doors, LED signage of the interior and exterior of the cars, and having the fronts of the cab cars be painted with a half-black, half-silver scheme. All of these features would be included in the R142 cars. The MTA approved the purchase of 1,080 new subway cars, with the order to be split up, with 680 cars being built by Bombardier and 400 by Kawasaki. The cars built by Bombardier would be known as the R142, and the cars built by Kawasaki would be known as the R142A. The order would cost the MTA $1.45 billion, which was the largest order at the time. The R142 cars would start being constructed in 1999, lasting through 2003. As for the R142 cars, they would also start construction in 1990, but it would last throughout 2005. Why? In 2003, the MTA had placed a supplemental order of 80 more R142 cars. The extra cars were constructed in 2004 and entered service in 2005. The R142 and R142 cars would face minor issues during their testing phase. The issues would be sorted out with the R142 starting its 30-day acceptance test on July 10, 2000 and enter official revenue service on October 20, 2000. The R142A cars also started its 30-day acceptance test on July 10, 2000 but would enter official revenue service on November 2, 2000. The first R142 car would run on the 2 line and the first R142A would run on the 6 line. The R142 and R142A would replace the Redbirds, which include the R26, R28, R29, R33, and R36. The R142 cars would run only on the 2 and 5 line throughout its life, while the R142A would run on the 6 line until 2018 and the 4 line for its lifetime. Occasional service change would have the cars on other lines. The R142 and R142 cars have seen many upgrades. On some R142 cars, the digital sign on the side of the train would be upgraded to feature a green circle or red diamond to denote express and local service. The cars are supposed to be upgraded to have communications-based train control or CBTC at some point down the road. Notably, 380 R142 cars were upgraded to have CBTC and were changed into R188 cars. This was the reason why the 6 line stopped using R142A, as most were converted and given to the 7 or were transferred to the 4. At 3:15 am on March 27, 2020, a 2 train was set on fire at the Central Park North 110th Street station. 16 people were injured by the fire. Garrett Goble was the only person who died. Goble died due to smoke inhalation from saving the passengers on the train from the fire as the fire was started on the second car of the train. The fire was started by Nathaniel Avinger, who had also started other fires and is now in a psychiatric facility. A memorial for Goble was set up at the Flatbush Avenue Brooklyn College Station on May 24, 2021. Rest in peace, Garrett Goble. R142 cars 6,346 through 6,350 was scrapped due to the damage caused by the fire, while cars 6,366 through 6,370 were repaired and returned to service. The R142 and R142A marked a pivotal turning point in New York City transit history, ushering in the era of modernized, air-conditioned, and digitally equipped subway cars on the IRT lines. Introduced in the early 2000s as part of the New Technology Train Initiative, they replaced decades-old rolling stock and set new standards for passenger comfort, reliability, and accessibility. Over 2 decades later, their legacy is visible not just in their continued service, but in the design language and technological advancements they inspired across the fleet. While future models will eventually succeed them, the R142 and R142A will remain remembered as the trains that brought the NYC subway into the 21st century. This has been the history of the MTA. Thanks for watching.
Started like a seed, a twinkle in